first up, the police had to be called to an event as in Edinburgh, Scotland, as nearly 1,000 angry Scottish dads almost disemboweled a con man who destroyed the dreams of their children. An event advertised online is lasting around 45 minutes to an hour of basically Willy Wonka Meow Wolf. Turned out to basically just be an empty, dirty warehouse with some cheap holiday decorations and some shower curtains and posters taped to the wall. It took all in all about a minute or two for each visitor. So the guy behind this, his name is Billy Cole, and he clearly didn't obtain the rights to the Willy Wonka property because the name of his main character in this Willy's Chocolate Experience was named Willy McDuff. And instead of having a workforce of Oompa Loompas, he had some sad things called Wonky Doodles. You've probably seen the meme by now of that meth lab Oompa Loompa. That's actually an incorrect term. She was meth lab Wonky Doodle. And it's kind of weird that they even called it Willy's Chocolate Experience in the first place. No chocolate at all at the event. Instead, they passed out a single jelly bean to each child and a small cup of lemonade and charged $45 per person for the experience.
Wait, a single jelly bean?
Yeah. Well, okay, so that meth lab Wonky Doodle, she went on the record to some local news organization and said in an interview that she actually broke the rules and passed out like 2 or 3, but she was ordered to give them all a single jelly bean each, which is goddamn heartbreaking. And the entire script for all of the actors in this event was clearly written by AI. Apparently, Willy McDuff's script that he had to read, first off, he got it the day before he was supposed to do it. And it was 15 pages worth of just AI gibberish that literally called for him to perform like actual magic, which unfortunately they didn't hire like an actual wizard to play Willy McDuff. Like there's supposed to be a bunch of like magic bubbles floating everywhere, and he's supposed to grab one, crush it in his hand, and send a spark of light up into the rafters. And there was supposed to be butterflies flying around. And part of the script called for him to tell the kids, if you see one of our butterflies flying around, catch it in your hand and whisper your most secret wish and send it off. And our wish-granting butterfly people will grant it for you. And it was just like some ridiculous shit, clearly written by a generative AI. And it broke a lot of kids' hearts.
Oh yeah, enough to where the police had to come. I think that's probably my favorite part about this story is people were so pissed that they called 911.
Yeah, there was like 1,000 people both inside and outside of the building, like still waiting in line, that just wanted to fucking gut him like a fish and string him up and probably draw and quarter him. My favorite part of it is, for some reason, the script called for a Babaduke. Like there was a Babaduke hiding around this weird set that they had built. It was a character called the Unknown. And there's hilarious footage of him stepping out from behind like a full-length mirror and just terrorizing kids, like wearing this weird, like, it looks like a Slipknot mask. And you hear Willy McDuff saying, "Oh no, what is that? It's the Unknown!" And this Babaduke pops out, and you hear like 4 or 5 kids collectively crying and going, "No!" So this Babaduke, the Unknown, the script said was an evil chocolate maker. And all of the actors performing this thing had no idea if it was just an evil guy that makes chocolate or if the chocolate he makes is evil. Like the script never really specified, just that there's an unknown evil chocolate maker living in the walls. And I mean, it would be awesome if there was an evil guy making chocolate. Because like I said, they only got a single jelly bean each for $45 a ticket.
And at what point, like, so I understand that this was all off-brand Willy Wonka-esque, how are they not sued for like a copyright infringement?
Because it technically never said it was Willy Wonka. Yeah, and like so it was Willie McDuff and his Wonky Doodle slaves. And all of the advertisements, there's a bunch of red flags that should have been set off for the people. Like, say you and Alex decided to go to an event like this, right? And it's $45 a ticket. That's what, 180? I'm terrible at math. $180 for your whole family to go to this thing that looks like a meow wolf.
That was good. That was
and
good
the
math.
website, the website is still up. And you could go there now, Willie's Chocolate Experience.gov or some shit. I don't know exactly what the website is, but it's still up if you just Google search it. And everything is completely misspelled. Like, remember when you were trying to like make cover art for this year podcast, and for some reason, like almost everything was spelled like fiends or word.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Birds
yeah.
are fiends.
Using like
it
AI
was just like
generative.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, like even with the prompt, like AI still can't spell.
Yeah.
And it offered such exciting things like come enjoy the Karchi Tons and a delectable, wonderful experience of sweet teats. And like clearly AI should have. If you're gonna pay $180 to take you and your family to something that looks like it's Willy Wonka, and your kids only get a single jelly bean and a little bit of lemonade each, you would probably want to be after that dude's blood as well. But this isn't even the first time this Billy Cole feller has tried to make a quick buck using AI. Last year alone, like last summer, he published 16 kids and young adult books that were clearly all AI generated, and they were about like right-wing conspiracy theories like sex trafficking, COVID vaccine mandates, and even one about AI taking over the world, which is kind of hilarious coming from that. Yeah, well, like young adult novels, like basically the Hunger Games. I mean, the Hunger Games is a young adult's novel, but and it covers terrible things, but is like nobody publishes 16 books at a time and doesn't use AI generation. And so his excuse, he said to a local news outlet that interviewed him, the reason that this thing sucked so bad is because the holographic paper he ordered didn't come in the mail in time, which would have turned this whole thing around. But no, it was like dollar store decorations and like plastic lollipops, like 4 of them in the middle of this big empty warehouse. No secret wish granting butterflies, no magic bubbles, just a Babaduke and a whole lot of sadness and desperation. So hats off to Mr. Cole, newest friend of the show, for having the biggest set of brass balls that I've ever heard.
It reminds me of the like you always see the advertisements for like and it's almost the same exact thing. They won't necessarily call it the Jurassic Park experience, so they call it like the Jurassic Land experience, and the advertisements are all of these badass dinosaur animatronics. And when you get there, it's just some sad guy in the corner with his recorder playing a slightly out of tune, slightly off key rendition of na 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 na.
I haven't seen or heard of that, but that is a very apt comparison.
And it's just
but like, at least it's not like advertised as like a Meow Wolf kind of thing. Like if you look at the posters and shit up on the website, like it looks like a Willy Wonka Meow Wolf. I mean, at least going to the Jurassic Land thing, that there's not going to be real dinosaurs, which is already kind of a disappointment.
My goodness. Well, hats off to what was the creator's name again? Our new friend of the show?
Billy Cole. Billy Cole is his name.
Well, hats off to Billy Cole and all of the disappointment he gave to thousands of children. I haven't seen a bigger disappointment since I last talked to my father.
He probably like hurt those kids worse than the actual Willy Wonka, the licensed one, hurt the kids in the movies.
Oh my goodness. Well, thanks for sharing, Stone.